Okay, Denny's or animal on this one. Well, this is kind of an action clip that we've got here. I assume probably some pranksters were making a funny YouTube video when they made this sound. This is a cow being tipped over. You ever heard of cow tipping?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure it's some knuckleheads making a YouTube video. What do you think? Is this Denny's or animal here?
Oh
my gosh. They tipped the cow over and it exploded.
A loud thud.
That's terrible.
I need it one more time.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that would happen to a cow. That's horrifying. Oh my gosh.
Did they throw it into a van?
It was a big push.
Broadcasting from the offleaseonly.com studios. Offleaseonly.com. Open daily 10 to 8. Now offering free local delivery and no payments for 90 days. Save thousands. Offleaseonly.com. This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
It's time to wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast. So don't get her pissed. It's Jason called Sugar Spaz, and they love to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Yeah, here we go. It is another day, which was a lot like yesterday, and a lot like the day before that, a week before that. But hey, here we go, man. Welcome to it. What's going on? Here we are.
Making it.
5.5 hours of straight KVJ.
Hump day.
Your hair's on point, brother. I was looking at it on KVJ TV yesterday. Whether you like it or not, I think it looks great on TV right now.
It's holding up. Oddly enough, it is holding up. People are like going, there's no way Kevin has not gotten a haircut. And that's not true. I have not received a haircut, and I think I'm on like week 5.
Shaggy dog.
I usually go about every 3 weeks. So luckily, I got my hair done right before everything kind of started to lock down, and you couldn't do anything. So the timing of that was good. I was supposed to have a virtual hair appointment today. I don't know that I'm going to be able to make that, but I don't even know.
You're not in a desperate place.
Yeah, I'm not in a desperate place. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't you give that spot to somebody else that might be? And so I'm going to try to make it. I'm going to try to leg it out. I'm really watching to see what they're talking about with when things are going to open up. And I don't know. I'm like, I can go to hat for a couple weeks too.
Yeah.
Before things get crazy.
Well, we were talking, months before things open up, and now it seems like there might be a light here.
I'm just trying to see, to get an idea of when you might be able to do it. In Hair Club where I go, because each styling station is in its own sealed off room. It's got a door and everything.
Private.
Yes, and that seems like that lends to the ability of them to open up sooner rather than later.
You would think, right? It's not as...
Yeah, I don't know. I hope. I'm really watching. In fact, coming up here in just about 25 minutes, I would assume time-wise, I'm going to go through because I'm really watching what they're talking about. They got a council that apparently is going to take the next 2 to 3 days. Maybe by Friday, they might have some guidelines on how Florida is going to open up. So I'll give you an idea because they kind of spitballed what it might start looking like. And I know for a lot of people, if you're like me, where you're just... Some people could do the haircut thing, and some people have. They've done just a little basic trim. Some people to some disastrous results. And that's why you see your buddy who's got that big old, nick out of their head. I saw that on, what's his name, on CNN. Had done that. Had cut his own hair.
Gotcha.
The silver fox on there.
Anderson Cooper.
Yeah. And he took a big nugget out of his head.
You can do that with beards, too, if you're trying to trim up your beard.
Yeah.
I haven't touched mine.
I've done it. I'm recovering from one on one side of my chin. I don't know what happened. It's just like I have such a steady hand, almost like I was kind of thinking, I'm like, well, I should have been a surgeon. And I'm like, just out of nowhere, I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm trimming mine. I was going to let mine grow. I think I'm trimming her down.
You are.
It's uncomfortable. It looks horrible. So what am I doing?
I'm really trying to maintain. I know some people, you've got two different sides. You got some people who are just like, you know what? Everything's already chaotic. I'm just going to let it go. And I get that. I don't fault that rationale. I'm on the other side of this. To me, my life is so chaotic with just what's going on because I'm a very regimented type person. So when you throw a bunch of chaos at me, I can't add any more chaos because I'm the kind of person, if I let it all go, caution to the wind, I'll wake up under a bridge. Like, I'm that kind of person. If I don't really focus on what I'm doing, I don't even know where I'll wind up.
I hear you, man.
I got to have some kind of... Yeah.
I was doing that whole thing too. You know what? The whole world's shut down. I'm going to shut it down. No shaving. Let the hair go.
I get it.
But it's getting to that point now where, I don't know.
I get it. Yeah. That's just kind of it. I've heard a report. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they said, yeah, some of the people on our Zoom call are starting to look rough. You can tell, especially if you're, the more maintenance you are, the more you're starting to tell with some of these people when they go out. And you know, you got people who don't do a lot, and they're weathering this pretty well. But people who do a lot of stuff to themselves. Who was I saw one of the Jenner girls had gone out. They were making a big deal of that. I was on social media. She went out without makeup or whatever. And honestly,
it was Kylie.
I don't know that well
she
anyway.
went out to get snacks.
Yeah.
And they got a picture of her with all these snacks in her hands like a bear that had just raided somebody's car in the woods. And she turned around and had like no makeup and her hair was just pulled back. And I was like, wow. She looks a lot different.
She looked a lot different. She didn't look bad. She looked normal. But
she looked like a normal girl.
Yeah, just like a normal girl. But I wouldn't even have known. I was like, because I kept looking at it because I'm like going, okay, what I understand her to look like, this doesn't look anything.
I know.
Doesn't even look like the same person. And I'm
I
like,
thought the same thing. I was like, wow.
I'm like, it has to be a bait and switch kind of story, almost like they're trying to tell us with the Jacksonville beaches the other day, where it's like, this isn't really her, and people are going to fall for it and be like, that's not even her.
That's probably a major Kardashian meltdown. Oh my gosh, they didn't see me with makeup on. That's probably a big deal.
It might be. It might be. I don't know.
Ugh,
it definitely was a big story. So those kind of people, your Jenner Kardashian / people, are a little bit more noticeable. You can find out, be like, oh, wow, they had a lot of Botox. Because, like, that's what they were saying yesterday. Some of the people who got a lot of Botox, you can see mouths starting to droop.
yeah, you're right.
Dark circles under the eyes, those kind of things.
Your natural state is showing.
Yeah, so as these Zoom calls are going on for businesses week after week, you're like going, wow, they actually had a lot of maintenance going on. Starting to see that kind of stuff showing through. So we'll see. So, yeah, the hair is still on point. Thank you, Hair Club. That's still rocking. I got that going on, but I will let you know coming up what exactly is going to look like as things start to open up. And coming up here in just a few, too, what's on my mind. We'll get to that in just a bit. You talk about what may not be around after life starts opening back up. One of the things that I cherish, they are predicting, is going to look radically different and almost shut down. So we'll get to all that coming up here.
It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. It's the KVJ Dirt of the Day. Virginia, take it away, because you know we need that Dirt of the Day.
Well, coming up in your Dirt of the Day, it looks like Camila Cabello did one of those home haircuts you're talking about. She and her mom teamed up to cut her bangs.
Okay.
And it's pretty funny. I'll tell you what happened on her Instagram coming up in just a second. Before we get into that, CBS is out of new soap opera episodes. You know, they film a little bit ahead of time.
Okay, yeah.
And then, you know, the things that you're watching now were filmed a few weeks ago. But after they've stopped production on The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful, they don't have any new episodes. So what they're going to do is start showing episodes from back in the 90s.
Is that depressing or is that fun to watch?
I think it's depressing.
Yeah, because I've been watching old baseball games, and in the beginning, I'm like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And then it starts to get a little depressing.
I don't like it.
Novelty wears off really fast.
Yeah.
Novelty, I've found out with anything, movies, music, whatever it is, it's a good dash, but that's it.
Well, you can only watch the 82 World Series so many times.
Wow, yeah.
It looks like Garth Brooks is now going to the grocery store and I guess buying the groceries for the fam. Here he is talking about how he's actually enjoying it now with all this.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much I love going to the grocery store. Now they have aisles that go one way, X's on others so people don't have to cross each other. They have the lines, of course, at the checkout thing. Everybody's so sweet. They have stickers there saying they don't take 2 or more of this because of this. Just beautiful stuff, man. And everybody's being really sweet. Lucky to live in the neighborhood we are, but I have a feeling there's a lot of neighborhoods like this all over the United States and all over the country as well.
Garth, let me introduce you to my hometown Walmart. A little bit of a different experience.
Yeah.
And you're Garth Brooks, too. Something tells me the seas part when you come a-walking.
I mean, I bet shopping is fun, Garth.
I bet it is. And finally here, yes, Camila Cabello revealed that she and her mom together cut her bangs. She shared the experience on Instagram and at first got mad at her mom because her mom messed it up, but then her mom was able to fix it. It was like I've done it to Magnolia. She still talks about it, how, I took too much out of one side and you try to balance it, but then you take too much out of the other side. And it's like,
Oh, my dad cut my hair in 7th grade when kids are the meanest, and he screwed it up so bad they were calling me Island Head because it looked like I had an island of hair on my head.
And that's what's going on in your dirt of the day.
It's time for viral audio.
So had your kids, had your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, the good news here is you look at the people who have got the coronavirus and who is recovering from the coronavirus. I had seen last night that Chris Cuomo from CNN had made this grand exit from his quarantine in his basement, almost like they do with the groundhog and Punxsutawney. He came out, saw his shadow, and went back in. George Stephanopoulos is also apparently recovered from COVID-19.
I just want to say that last week I signed up for one of those clinical trials for recovered COVID patients to donate blood plasma as part of to see how that could help with treatment going into the future. That process began last week, and I also took one of those tests that shows I developed the antibodies to fight off the virus. So I've cleared the virus now. I'm fully recovered, and I hope to complete that blood plasma donation soon.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, I hear that some of the true vaccines they're working on have to do with the antibodies, and Scripps in Jupiter is on the forefront. Today, this afternoon, they're going to have some kind of press conference online that is going to talk about the work that they are doing. So who knows? It'd be interesting if the vaccine came right out of Jupiter.
That'd be great.
I guess it could be possible.
We need a good Jupiter story. Wasn't the last Jupiter story the Robert Kraft story?
Let's get. I don't know if it was the last one.
The biggest.
Yeah, let's get a good one out of Jupiter.
Yeah, they're due. They're due for a good one. Interesting stuff if you missed this. Dr. Fauci talking on why COVID-19 is affecting a higher number of African Americans.
As is all situations associated with the disparities of health in minorities, particularly the African American community. And it's really terrible because it's just one of the failings of our society is that African Americans have a disproportionate prevalence and incidence of the very comorbid conditions that puts you at high risk.
Hypertension, asthma,
obesity, diabetes. If you get infected, you're going to have a poor outcome. When it's all over, is to focus a bright shining light on what disparities of health mean.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I've turned the news off for the last, I'd say, 3 days. Is Fauci is he still the guy that's talking as the doctor?
I'm not watching it either.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I can't.
Punted on the news, man.
Well, the press conferences move too slow. Like, there's so much information I need to get. I'm like, I'll get that later. I don't have time to sit through the slow-moving press conferences.
I sit through the national network evening news, and I think they do a really good job of providing a 30-minute synopsis.
I figured if something real big is going down, Virginia will let me know.
Yeah.
I don't need to watch the news.
Yeah. I wait for that stuff. But he did bring up a really good point there that, it is shining a light on some of the disparities that are going on in our society. And it is sad that it's affecting the African-American community the way that it is. I saw that Anquan Bolden, who does so many great things, he is a former NFL player for the Hocking, that he was out and he had gotten tested. He's got several people in his family or that he knows that are affected by COVID-19. So, but he's out there and doing his part as he always does. Another person who used to play or does now play for the Baltimore Ravens, like Anquan Bolden's former team. Some good news for Boynton Beach High School's alum Lamar Jackson. He is now quarterback. I don't know if you know that, Virginia, for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes, absolutely. He is a star player, and he made a big announcement yesterday on social media.
Talk to you. Where is that process?
Yeah, they talked to me. I should be on the cover of Madden. Yeah, they should. But like I said, I'm not worried about a curse. Patrick Mahomes was on the front. He won the MVP, so I will want that curse. I hope that's a curse.
You are the cover of Madden 21.
No, I am. Yeah, I am.
Congratulations.
Appreciate that.
Confusing and awkward interview to get the announcement that Lamar Jackson is going to be on the cover of Madden 21.
Some of those Skype, Zoom interviews, they do get awkward because sometimes there's a slight delay.
You can tell.
And they'll ask a question and then they'll answer it, but they'll pause and then they talk over each
The
other.
other person starts to go.
And then they stop. And
Yeah.
okay. Oh, it's so funny to watch.
That's an example of how they don't always work out well. So there you go. He's also the reigning NFL MVP, most valuable player, so he will be on the cover of Madden 21. They do say sometimes that it comes with a curse that player doesn't do great, but Patrick Mahomes, who was on last year's cover, just won a Super Bowl, so I don't know how cursed he is.
Okay.
Yeah. And just kind of a quick follow-up while I'm talking NFL, and we'll slide this in there. You know, yesterday we were playing the audio. Is it possible Rob Gronkowski would come back and play with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay?
Bam!
Wow. I mean, we talked about it yesterday, and we played the audio that had happened on Regis and Kelly where they'd asked him, and I'm like, that's an interesting thought, and he sounded optimistic that, you know, people who retire, what's the first thing they do is unretire, and how great his body felt. I still didn't mentally make that connection that was going to happen. I saw that story, and somehow I was still stunned yesterday. So if you missed that announcement, Rob Gronkowski, who seems to love South Florida. He's always here. You know, that Gronk beach party during the Super Bowl.
He did.
Yeah, he is going to come out of retirement, and it looks like it is going to be official that he is going to be joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to play with Tom Brady as bud.
Come out of retirement. Give me a break.
Yeah, he laid out for 1 year, and he was still under contract with the Patriots, so they had to do a trade. They're going to be sending Gronk and a 7th-round draft pick to Tampa Bay in exchange for a 4th-round pick.
So he did take 1 year off completely?
Yes. He did not play at all last year, and apparently his body feels better than it ever has, and he is ready to go through the rigors of another NFL season, whenever that might be. So
in Tampa Bay?
Tampa Bay.
That's
awful.
It's so cheesy.
So cheesy.
Yeah, right away, though, Tampa Bay has gone to a very high-profile team that a lot of people are going to be watching this year.
Yeah, they have.
Just a couple of trades. So there you go. That is the latest.
The KVJ Show mornings and the best variety from the 2000s, 10s, and today for your workday. 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about today, Jay Bird?
Oh, a fight broke out on social media that I thought was very interesting as a topic here.
Okay.
Someone was proclaiming that after all this, we're back to the normal and everyone's going back out, that buffets are a thing of the past. They are dead. They're never going to ever be in a restaurant again. And I would say it was about half and half of people going, buffets are dead, buffets are still going to be alive. But where do you guys stand? I think a lot of these things people are saying right now, this is never going to happen, and that's going to never be that way. It's too early to say any of that stuff. We're in the middle of this weird thing. It's so easy to sit back and say, oh, we're never going to have buffets again. I know for a fact in my heart, buffets will still be reigning supreme when all this is over.
I just think that so many people enjoy them. You can't not give the people what they want. They may have to change the way the buffet looks, but I just don't see it being a forever gone away. Maybe initially.
You're trying to tell me someone in the Midwest is not going to go to a buffet? You're out of your mind.
America.
And I'm with them. America. Buffets are America. I get that they're not everyone's bag, and I get that they're gross. I've had terrible experiences at buffets, and that shows you the power of a buffet. An old man farted on all the food, and I still went back. That just shows you
That's
the
really
power.
gross.
It's terribly gross.
Yeah, terrible.
Terribly
Terrible
gross.
story.
Says a lot about Your standards.
Well, it just shows you the power of a buffet, is what it does. It shows you that they're never going to go away.
Yeah, okay.
For people like me.
You're a better man than I.
Well, I mean, like Tequesta.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you define that.
Tequesta over here, she ain't gonna go to a buffet.
I wasn't doing buffets before coronavirus. Like, the last buffet
Not
I did.
even the buffet at the Breakers, Virginia.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
The last buffet I did was with you, Kevin. We did that Sunday brunch at the Breakers, and it was fabulous. And I just feel like it's upscale. It's different.
When you were out of town, I took Panda out for a man date, and we went to a buffet. He was so happy, and I remember him saying, he goes, Virginia would never come here. And just the happiness of him on his second round of ice cream. I'm like, you deserve a buffet every now and then, my friend.
I'm the warden of fun.
No, you're the warden of food.
He's allowed to go eat wherever he wants.
I know. I could tell he was not going to buffets to keep you happy. And I'm the other woman. I know what my man likes.
You're ridiculous.
Virginia, what you got on your mind today?
I'm going to Restaurant Depot today, so let me know if there's anything you want.
Okay.
I bought you butter in bulk. I brought you beans in bulk. I think buying in bulk is a smart thing right now because it saves
the beans
you.
that are still sitting there?
Still sitting there.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I don't know. That's a lot of bean for one man, and I think you went too big for me.
But if you break that up into 7 different little Tupperware things of beans, you can portion it out, and you can actually save yourself a lot of trips to the grocery store.
No, you're right.
So let me know. I'm going today, both of y'all. If you've got bulk items that you want, I can get them for you, and you're not going to have to take a bunch of trips to the store.
Oh, I'm definitely getting in on some of that action. Just give me a little bit of time to think about what I need.
Like 3 weeks ago, I bought 10 pounds of chicken breasts, and I am still chicken breast rich.
Okay.
I haven't had to go back for chicken breasts, and I used to go once a week to get chicken breasts.
Do you freeze it? Is that what you're doing with it?
They are frozen.
Do you find that loses quality even with the freezing?
Yes, of course. Anything that you freeze, it loses like a generation of quality, of course. But if you buy a good chicken breast that is cooked right, and they do some seasoning to it on the front end, and then they freeze it, it's not a bad chicken breast. I actually enjoy some of them.
Okay.
And there you have
Always
it.
learning.
Make your list. I'm going today.
Okay. What I got in my mind is you talk about what may or may not be around after we get out of this quarantine state that we're in. And you're worried about buffets. Me, a little concerned about breweries. And the prognosis is not great for a lot of our craft breweries that are out there.
Really?
Yeah, the numbers are really tough. I was reading an article on this, and they had talked about a brewery in particular that was out of Washington, D.C., but a lot of the numbers they have is from like the National Brewers Association or some group like that that's a national base. So most of these numbers that I have here are from the national brewery level. They say a typical brewery in America experienced on-site beer sale declines of 65%. Draft sales fell about 95% at a lot of these breweries. So that is 95% of your product is a lot.
That's a lot.
Does that mean that they're so badly injured financially that they can't get back from it?
Well, that's it. A lot of them, yes. They say about 6 in 10 breweries said the coronavirus could drive them out of business. That's 60% of breweries. Now, the brewery thing was really popping. Remember we had that thing, I'm like going, oh my gosh, this brewery's open up, that brewery's open up.
Sure.
And it was just all over the place that they're opening up. The U.S. added more than 5,000 new breweries over the last 5 years, bringing the all-time total to 8,150 craft breweries in America. As many as 4,800 could go out of business. That is about half of all craft breweries.
Now, I know they say could. Is that just a projection, or do they know pretty much for a fact they're going under?
These are the numbers they're talking about. They're asking people, saying, hey, will your brewery survive? 6 in 10 believe that they could be driven out of business, and the projection is possibly about 50% really will. So imagine that half of the breweries that are out there could be gone by the time this thing is over.
I would think your guys that, had figured out how to can and have product in stores are doing pretty well right now. Like our partners that we had due south. I mean, the beer's selling. If you go to any place that sells beer, like a store, you notice that beer is indeed selling.
Some are trying to adapt. My wife and I were talking about this yesterday, and this is probably, I'm not a businessman by any means, but I do understand rent. And a lot of breweries are in industrial parks where it's not that much. That's the cool thing about it. Breweries are neat because you have to go to out-of-the-way places to find. It's like a treasure hunt. You're like, oh, what a cool little place. And then they do something interesting with an industrial site. Your rent's not going to be a lot. But think about breweries that are not necessarily in industrial parks.
Like your downtown ones.
Yes.
Oh, I can't imagine what their rent is.
Yeah.
Oh, downtown? It's going to be so much money.
It's going to be ridiculous.
You couldn't have any kind of hiccup whatsoever. To still stay open, and those are the ones that realistically, and you can just think about whatever town you're in and what breweries are there and what kind of place they're in and be like, yeah, okay.
We knew somebody who owned something down at, or had to pay rent down at Clematis, and it was just at Clematis was insane per month.
It really was.
Mm-hmm. Now, many breweries have adapted to taking beer and food orders online and some things like that, and so, if you do have the possibility to still go and, they'll pair, like some of them I even saw were doing like free beer if you got like some food or things like that. They're trying to work out special deals, incentives for people to get just anything to try to keep, some workers there and to try to keep the brewery afloat while this is going on. So if you are a person who has a favorite brewery, you should look into it and see what their deal is right now, what capacity they are at, if they're canning beer at all. Some of them, the ones that are really sunk are the ones that didn't even have canning abilities at that brewery. And like I said, 95% of draft sales are down. So, I mean, that's a lot. You're not staying open if you're only pouring 5% of what you did.
I think all of them did the growlers, though. So, I mean, if you love
a lot
place,
of them, there were some places that still did not have the growlers. Yeah.
But if you love a place, you're right.
Yeah.
Look them up, call them up, find out what their deal is. And if you're going to buy beer, buy from the place that you know the people.
Yeah. I mean, we're all drinking more anyway. Nobody's giving you shit on that. So
Exactly.
Yeah, do what you can to try to help those places stay afloat, because that's the sad thing. Can you imagine that? You get excited about going out, and when you finally do, you run to your local brewery and they're chained and they're shuttered and they're never going to open again. That's the reality of it. So I'm kind of putting that note out there. Don't neglect beer in all of this. That is the PSA for today. If kids, you only learn one lesson from me today. It's don't neglect local beer, okay?
We got it, kid.
Okay, good. Thank you. The kids are paying attention,
We
at least
got
to
it,
one
Dad.
thing. Bro, hold on. I'm missing something there.
Get off the
Sorry about
stage,
that.
Bruno.
Yeah. Anyway, birthday stuff.
Your birthday stuff.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Go ahead. It's your birthday. Go, shawty.
Oh, that's
it's your
good.
birthday.
That's good.
Who needs a theme song?
You're right. We don't need that music. It's okay. Oh, they just slid it in for me. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Got birthday stuff going on today. What up? Machine Gun Kelly is turning 30 years old today. His biggest hit comes with Camila Cabello from Miami.
He's Tommy Lee from The Dirt, right?
Yes, he is. Yeah, on Netflix, the Motley Crue documentary or recreation. What do they call those things?
Yeah, what do they call that?
I don't know. What is that category? Amber Heard, the former Mrs. Johnny Depp, is 34. Will she continue in the Aquaman franchise or not?
Have you heard any updates on that? I know you said people trying to get her off that movie.
The coronavirus may have been great for her career because, I don't know, right? When we were going into coronavirus talk, there was a movement to get her kicked off because of what she possibly had done. It looked like she was hitting Johnny Depp and things like that. And people saying, look, domestic violence either way is not acceptable.
And she was hitting him and then mocking him.
Yes.
Like, oh, who's going to believe you? Big bad Johnny Depp, some little girl hurt you.
Well, there's a story, too. She threw something at him, and he sliced part of his finger off.
That's
been a big storyline in it.
Yeah, so When we were going into coronavirus, there was the move to get her kicked off the movie. All projects have been put on hold. I think that Hollywood's dealing with more issues right now than just the Amber Heard question.
They are dealing with people not looking at them every day. Like, oh my gosh, spotlight!
Yep. So, will she be part of it when it comes back? I don't know. I guess we'll wait and see. Jack Nicholson has pretty much disappeared from the spotlight. He turns 83 today, but he's done with acting, and I don't know if he's even still going to Lakers games. Haven't seen him on TV for quite a while. Got to say happy birthday to Connor, turning 6 today from Mommy, Daddy, and Sissy. Also, happy birthday shout out to Katarina Gill. My daughter Cypress is turning 4 years old. Happy birthday, Cypress. That is from Teresa, who sent that in. A very adorable photo of her on Kvj TV.
Oh my gosh, what a cutie.
Yeah. If you're watching YouTube right now, pull that up on your flat screen. You can see the photo of her.
Aww.
Thank you for that. Love to get those photos of that. If you would like to send in your photo and your birthday wish, just send it to mail@kvjshow.com. MAIL @kvjshow.com. Well, it happened last night. Big old battle, the Connect 4 tournament on KVJ Show's Facebook page. We're adding a lot of new videos for you to check out. And Jaybird and Denny's went at it. And I'm dying to know the results. Did you school your boy Denny's?
Well, it was very quick. I beat him 3 times, I think, in under 6 minutes.
Oh, my.
The first game, I think I beat him in 90 seconds. I think somebody might have been a little tired.
Oh, okay.
To know what was going on.
From probably still worn out from 420.
Just it's been a big week for him. It's been a big week.
Or do you celebrate 421?
Yeah, I mean, it's a month long.
422, 423.
It's like hair of the dog.
I got you. Okay.
Every day's 420.
Slow down the reflexes a little bit.
So I'm thinking this is going to be like a 30-minute Connect 4 video, but I look down, there's only 6 minutes in the video. Like, all right, well, Denny's, give us a tour of your whole garden. So he gave us a tour of his garden. I burnt my hands on, what was that thing called?
So I have a furnace for cooking pottery, and Bird puts his hands on it.
Oh, my.
He, like, leaned onto it. I was like,
I was trying to do the
1,000 degrees.
The ghost thing. Well, I was doing the ghost thing.
In Jay Bird's defense, did you toddler-proof your porch?
Well, I didn't
you have
expect
to
company.
toddler-proof your porch for when toddlers are coming over.
He didn't even tell me that the thing was on. I'm doing the ghost thing, like, oh.
But usually you do the ghost on the pottery wheel, not the furnace.
I was goofing about. Maybe I was tired too.
How are your hands?
They're tender. They're definitely tender.
I mean, the thing gets up to I think it gets up to
1,000 degrees.
1,500 degrees, I think, is the top.
Oh, it was so hot.
That's very hot.
Yeah,
it's made for
It's so warm.
You guys are lucky to be living.
Agreed. He's got aloe plants. It came in handy. Put them right on my wounds.
I could tell it burned you because you moved immediately. It was like, whoa. It's all on video. You can watch it.
Yeah, so check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, I might go watch it now.
All right. Maybe this week I'll be able to bring over my Connect 4 board to your place, Shaybird, and you and I can duke it out.
I call you out a lot during the video.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Okay. All right. Yeah. I got some things today, but maybe tomorrow we can get that thing going on. I know you need a challenger over there.
I do. I mean, it's getting old beating Denny's and Chewy.
Denny's is not bringing it.
No.
Yeah. Fun stuff you're doing at your house yesterday or one day this week. We were talking about your quarantine house, how it looks different now than before the quarantine. My son Cannon has taken all of our living room furniture. He's pushed it to one side, and he put down a taped basketball court. And he's got his hoop there, and every day he's loving it. That's really his PE that he has in the midst of his virtual schooling is he plays basketball games. You know, I grew up an only child, and he's got 2 older siblings, but they're 10 years older. And so he's almost got the only child
thing, yeah.
kind of going on.
Rocco's got that too. You know, his sister she's 15 almost, and she wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah, so even though he had siblings around for a while, it's like, yeah, they're not there. So he plays games by himself.
I did that as a kid. I would do the whole. I'd clear out that stuff. Does he kind of do like role playing where he's like, all right, Cannon's behind the 3-point line for the end of the game. Shoot, scores, wins.
You can see, and I like that. To me, that really works your imagination. Kids who do that kind of stuff. He puts on the uniforms, has the music. He puts the music on to come out. So it's a whole to-do, and I did pretty much the exact same thing as a kid.
You guys would love the Bamboozle Challenge that Little Smiles put up. Because yesterday, one of the challenges was create your own sport and then you have to be the announcer for it.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Yeah.
me and Rocco created a golf ball into the cup holder because, like, our little sofa has some little cup holders on it.
Yeah.
And so he would stand way back far in his underpants and try to make the shot. And I was like, "You did it!"
Oh,
The
that's
question,
cool.
is that part of the rules? You have to be in underpants. Is it the
No,
uniform?
it's not.
All right.
It's the
But that was
official
what
uniform.
that's what he brought. That was his game.
Yeah.
But
That's
there's
very
like
cool.
there's literally like 80 different challenges up there, and you get points for each one, and you complete the task by uploading a video or a picture of you doing the task.
That's so fun. We as kids, because we weren't really allowed to go out and do much, we'd stay in during the summer times and we'd play carpeting. It was basically, it was ping pong, but for on your carpet. You'd sit crisscross applesauce, get some towels for your net, and then you'd hit the ball with your hand. And it was such great fun. We'd do that for hours.
A lot of people have really come up with some cool, fun sports. I've seen the toilet paper dodgeball that people are doing in their houses.
That's fun.
Yeah, there was another one that I saw was kind of interesting, and it was chipping a foam golf ball up in the air, and your partner, you try to catch it in your mouth then. It's a weird combo.
It's a game, though, baby.
Yeah, it was a game, so, people were using their creativity and coming up with stuff. Got this email from Stephanie. She said, love the extra time I get to hear you guys from the show now. You guys staying on till 11. And, Kev, I love the new living room, courtesy of Canon. Since the quarantine, my boyfriend built a rock climbing wall for our kids.
Wow.
And also bought a Papa-Shot. These kids are spoiled. You can see the rock climbing wall there on Kvj TV.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
The photo of that, yeah, it looks just like a regular rock climbing wall. How fun is that for the kids? And then there's a photo of their Papa-Shot they have in their industrial-sized garage.
It's a good boyfriend right there.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
that's a lot of fun. So, yeah, love the pictures that you got of your quarantine house, how it looks different. You can keep sending those to us on social media or send us that email, mail@kvjshow.com, mail@kvjshow.com.
Drama, you got drama and you gotta tell all. You love to complain about your pain, ain't you? You're Facebook fishing.
Got some fun little fights out here today that we would like to act out for you. Thank you for the submissions that people continue to send us. If you see something entertaining on your Nextdoor app or on Facebook or Instagram, anything, just do a screenshot for us and send the email, mail@kvjshow.com. This is a Nextdoor app post from somebody named Kylie who's mad because her neighbor keeps coming out of his courtyard patio to cough really loudly. And she has had enough of this, and she is going off. Of course, a little fight's going to break out here because everybody lives in the same development. I'll play the role of Kylie. We got Virginia playing the role of Sandy. Bird, you're going to be Brent. And Denny's, you got the role of Charlie here today, okay?
Alrighty.
All right, here we go. It all starts off with Kylie. Yo, I want to punch my neighbor in his fat face. He's literally the worst. If I hear him one more time, we're going to have major words with one another.
Why? What is he doing? Did he touch you?
No, he didn't touch me, but he keeps walking out to his courtyard coughing. His fat ass sounds like he has the coronavirus. His cough particles are all up in the air right near me, and I'm going to lose it.
You know that the whole COVID-19 thing is a lie? Flu kills way more people. Stop being such sheeple. Hashtag pandemic. Hashtag over dramatic.
Brent, you're a moron. Aren't you the douche with truck nuts hanging from the back of your vehicle? Enough said. You're a D-bag. Your opinion doesn't count.
If I'm such a D-bag, why do you always stare at my package when I'm mowing my lawn?
Yeah.
I guess your hubby is a little light in the looms. That's why you can't stop looking at me. I get it.
Lighting the looms.
You're revolting, Brett. You're chubby, you're balding, and you look old as dirt. Nobody looking at your package. I look at you because I can't believe how much of a sloth you look like. I hope the coronavirus humbles you.
Brent is awful, but he's right. The coronavirus is a farce. I haven't been laid in a month, and I blame it on left-wing media for this. They are reporting faked facts. Damn, I'm horny.
Charlie.
Wow. I can't believe how many dumb people are on this thread. This is not a fake disease, people. I just yelled at my neighbor. I told him to cough inside his own place. He told me to F off. Some people are just selfish jerks.
A lot going on there.
A lot.
There's a lot.
Whoa.
I'm not sure whose side I'm on.
I want to go over there and just sit in my car and listen.
That is a big debate. Oh, my goodness. Boy, people are just all over it, huh? It's kind of crazy, the fighting that's going on. Got another interesting little thread here that somebody sent us. Brad had posted this up. He is warning everybody of this old man. His name is Russell, who used to live in the neighborhood, and now Russell is back visiting, and apparently he's mooning people, and he's got an old-looking, terrible ass.
Doesn't Russell know about the whole lockdown?
Well, I guess you could still social distance and moon people.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that really doesn't affect it.
I've thought about doing it a lot because I live on the golf course.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't even tell you. I can't even count on two hands all the times I've been this close.
You ain't got the cheeks to do it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I almost had Rocco do it once.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Wonder where he's getting all this from.
Yeah, I know. No, Kev, it's his diet.
Nobody ever blamed Rocco for his,
It's what he's
Virginia's encouraging all this.
It's those dyes.
Yeah,
it's what he's eating.
Not the dye. It's Mama who's like going, come on, Rocco.
Those damn nuggets he's eating.
Jaybird, you have got a lot here. You got two different roles. You are going to play the role of Amy, and I'm also going to have you be the role of Fiona. So two different girls. You got two different voices.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to play the role. Yeah. Uh-oh. I'm going to play the role of Brad. Virginia, you got the role of Laura, and Denny's, you can be Stu.
Stu.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what Brad posted up on social media. I just want to give you all a heads up. There's an old guy named Russell mooning women in our neighborhood. If you see him mooning, report it to me immediately, not the cops.
This is terrible. I don't want my kids looking at his old ass. Who's this Russell guy?
He's some old dude who used to live in this neighborhood. He moved away, but the other day he came back and mooned my wife. She said his tushy is pretty gross and mushy. You've all been warned.
Ugh.
OMG, this must be the same guy who mooned me and my daughter by our lake. He dropped his pants, bent over, and then started gyrating his cheeks. We reported it to authorities.
That is sick.
Wow.
I don't care how old this perv is. This old-timer needs to get his butt kicked.
Shouldn't we get all the details first before we form a neighborhood mob? Maybe he has mental issues.
Yes.
Let's not judge too soon, people.
I don't care if he's got mental issues, Stu. He's gonna have physical issues if he tries to moon me or my loved ones. The Morehouse family don't play these kind of damn games.
I agree, Fiona. I won't call the police. I'll just bend him over and spank him until his old cheeks turn to dust. I don't give a F. Lessons need to be learned.
Just some food for thought here. What if this Russell guy was your grandpa or your dad? Have some compassion, people. It's just an old man's ass. No need to get all WWE up in here, just saying.
Good Stu voice.
Thanks.
That's exactly how a Stu would sound.
Digging your stew. Digging your stew. Mm-hmm. All right, well, we're going to see. One of these days, can Jaybird actually break a world record here? World Record Wednesday. We try many of these just to really see how tough they are to get a perspective on, okay, is that really that impressive or not? A lot of these people obviously are practicing and putting in the time and, you know, all those kind of things you typically need. No, we're just gripping and ripping, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, we're just seeing exactly how close Jaybird can come to this. Now, the one that we're going to try today for World Record Wednesday, this is the most envelopes torn in half in 30 seconds.
Any pointers, Virginia?
Well, I know since you've been quarantined, you've probably been working up your wrist muscles to be real strong. So you are the front runner.
That's not really a pointer. That's more kind of just a weird comment. But thank you.
Your wrists have probably never been stronger.
I appreciate the words of whatever.
Well, the Guinness World Record is 49 and 30 seconds, set by Andre Ortolf of Germany in 2017.
He wanted it.
He did want it.
He wanted it.
They did. Now, they used the standard envelope that we have there in front of Jaybird. 49 is the record. We got a nice stack in front of you, 30 seconds. And this is torn in half. So, this would mean, boom, all the way complete. If you have a dangler, it's not torn in half. It would not count for the final
can't have danglers.
Tally.
Danglers are not acceptable.
Virginia, are you able to keep track of the time on this? I can have Denny's keep an eye on this, too.
Yeah. So you one at a time.
Yes.
You can't do a whole stack.
It has to
10
be.
at a
Has to
time.
be rip next.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Now, do you feel good about counting?
I can do whatever you want. I can either work the timer or I can work the count.
Definitely talking about suits. You should not do anything with math or numbers. Yeah. You
counting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna hit the start button on my iPhone.
All right.
Okay.
Who's counting though?
I'm going to have Denny's.
Yeah.
All right. My tiger face.
Yeah.
I'll film and I'll count. Plus, we can count on the back end just to double check all our math.
I love it,
Yeah.
Denny's. I love it.
Yeah, we got it all taken care of here.
Your voice of calm fills my heart
no
with
worries.
joy.
Okay. All right, so the world record, 49 envelopes torn in half in 30 seconds for World Record Wednesday.
Hold on, Your Honor.
Okay.
Fuel up like a winner.
Let's see what the bird can do here. Okay. Get ready for this. All right. On your mark. Get set and go. All right. There's one envelope. Through it, no problem. He's got two. He's on three. He's just gripping, ripping, tearing. Looks like he's got 6 there, 7. Yep. Here he is. Okay. Yeah, he didn't like that tear. As he clears the 10 mark, he's got to go back and tear another. That threw him off. He's at the halfway mark right now.
Come on, Bert.
Coming down the home stretch here. What will his final tally be?
Push it.
Okay. In a good groove.
18, 19.
Part of the issue. Oh, no, he fumbled. Oh, he can't get it. Oh, man, the last 5 seconds was a nightmare, as he just couldn't get the envelopes picked up off of the stack, and the tearing was a little tough, too.
So what was the record, 49?
49 in 30 seconds, set by a German in 2017.
The Germans.
Yeah, they're good at that stuff. They rip a lot of envelopes, apparently. What was our final tally?
20, right?
Yeah, 20 right at the buzzer.
20.
Much work to do.
Wow.
Still.
I wonder how he did that, and I wonder if he had them, because part of what you had a problem with was the envelopes were stacked on top of each other, and you were fumbling with that more than you were tearing the envelopes in half, where if they were just almost kind of like laid out on the counter in front of you, you could just grab one envelope at a time, whoosh, 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 you'd be able to rip through it.
Many mistakes were made, as always, but the good thing about all this losing, when we do win one, when we finally get that one, winning is going to taste so nice in this mouth. You know what I mean? Just going to taste nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
The taste of victory.
The taste of victory.
We need to see a picture of this German guy's hands, too. I mean, you got hamburger hands. You're working from a deficit. Maybe this guy's had slender Kevin fingers. He could have pretty hands.
He's svelte.
Yeah, he could have svelte little quick fingers.
Maybe, and who knows? Was he tested for roids? Does he have roid fingers?
Don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
All great questions. Is 20 an impressive mark? How do you feel about 20 out of 49, Virginia, in 30 seconds? Nah.
I mean, do you want me to lie to him?
No, give me the harsh truth, because I know you're going to hold it in.
Yeah, you're not even halfway there. I mean, come on.
All right, well, if you guys are bored at home and you want to try to crack at a world record, you can send us videos of your attempts. Just pull out some envelopes, which most people don't use these days anyway, and rip them in half, because who needs them?
I can't believe you guys are wasting envelopes.
We can actually turn that into toilet paper.
Yeah,
right. Ooh.
If you get desperate.
That's a sudden death.
If you are desperate, you could use this for TP for
Wow.
sure.
That is tough. You know, it's going to be good when you see an email start with this. I know how much you love a juicy story, and I hope you find this as interesting as I did. This email to KVJ show here says, my husband's an attorney. Specifically, he works with high-end clients here in South Florida practicing family law and specializes in prenups prior to marriage in the division of assets in the event of a divorce, helping clients navigate through the terms of those prenups. His clients typically have millions of dollars in the bank and assets tied up in real estate, et cetera, et cetera. I've always found his stories to be fascinating, and as a stay-at-home mom of 3 who loves to watch Bravo, I live for any juicy divorce scandal he's dealing with.
Yes, me too. I love these details.
I'm not sure what happened over the weekend, but yesterday my husband took on 4 new clients, and all of them had a similar tone to each other. These are 4 extremely wealthy clients with notable ties to the South Florida community and names that could possibly be recognized. In all 4 cases, the husbands were caught sneaking off to their mistresses.
Oh.
In the midst of a global pandemic, yes, they apparently still need to cheat on their wives. And right now, there are no convenient business lunches or business dinners that you can use as your excuse to go meet your side action.
Rounds of golf, none of that.
You aren't going to meet investors for the weekend in Vegas. You're not taking them to the corporate headquarters in LA. There are also significantly less transactions on your credit card statements. So your wife may notice a $3,400 payment for an apartment in Miami that she's not aware of.
You're saying that these are famous names that we would recognize?
She says yes. In many cases, you probably would recognize them.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah, because, I mean, maybe these wives had their own lives going on, and they were running around too, and they were doing what they do, and they weren't at home all day, every day, watching the comings and goings of their man.
But you're right. If you have a meeting, it's going to be on Zoom.
Right.
No one's having meetings now.
You don't got to go nowhere, bub.
And then, as the credit card balance starts to lean out because of expenditures, then you're like, wait, what is this? $3,400 for an apartment?
Wait a minute.
Icon and Brickaway. What is this? What are you doing?
Yeah, the only thing that should be on there right now is groceries and booze.
Yeah, she said this is literally the worst case scenario for cheaters, even ones with money, because the worst is shut down. Forget the people that are stuck in a small apartment and annoyed by how their husband or wife choose. Even the wealthy are being affected. And yes, 3 out of 4 of the cases from yesterday involved a prenup with a cheating clause. And the 4th has been married for 18 years and there's no prenup.
Oh, boy.
They will all likely lose millions of dollars because they couldn't keep it in their pants during a global crisis. Good job, guys.
So did the wives know about this, or did the paparazzi follow them? How did all this get out?
The wives probably busted them because they don't have anything else going on right now, so they're way more observant.
Yeah.
And they see everything you're talking about.
And your man's not supposed to leave, so if he's leaving to do anything, you're going to be like, where the hell is he going?
Yeah, why are you going out for 4 hours just to go get some milk?
There's no meeting.
Sounds like one person just simply looked at their credit card balance. And they were like, wait, what is this? $3,400.
I wonder who they are, what industries they work in.
She can't tell us. We don't want to get her in trouble.
Yeah.
But that is juicy.
Mm-hmm. Pretty fascinating stuff that we got there. So, yeah, love it. We got all kinds of good dirt. You got anything else you want to share? You can let us know here at the KVJ Show.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha-ha, fighting in the nude. Drunk people pooping in the street. Ha-ha, it's the whacked out news.
Yeah, what?
So many people on meth. Ow!
Oh, yeah. Well, we pretty much start off your Whacked Out News every single day with our Covidiots of the day. And this is just, I guess, interesting karma. And I guess maybe a lesson for others out there. There's a guy in Ohio who didn't believe the coronavirus outbreak was real. He said the lockdown was BS. He went on to Facebook, was railing on this. He dismissed the killer virus as a political ploy that he said officials were using to exert control over the public. He's from Ohio, and I know that their governor, DeWine, has really, he shut it down fast, and he's one of those believers in really a strict, strident lockdown of everything. And so, some people who are a little bit on the other side of that have really reacted negatively to this governor. Well, the odd thing about this is this guy who was blasting it, saying that it was BS, it was nothing but a political ploy, contracted the virus in late March and then died last week in the hospital.
See?
Yeah.
Don't test it, y'all.
I hear you.
People calling out the coronavirus and then getting it and dying, that is real.
And then you're like, okay, what do you have to say now?
Yeah, you talked me out of doing that battle rap against the corona.
Don't.
I'm glad you talked me out of it.
Don't even tempt fate.
A lot of people are still stepping out a little bit here. Another problem in Ohio. Police there busted a large Amish barn party on Sunday.
Oh, guys, come on.
We got the 911 call. It's pretty good.
Yeah, there we go.
Sheriff's Dispatch, Jevons.
There's a bunch of Amish people over on Flemingsburg Road.
And when we got there was a barn full of people. Some of them ran. There was one that was too intoxicated to run, had to be transported by ambulance.
Those folks are all placing themselves at risk. I'm glad that the sheriff's office was there to do something about it, to intervene and to put them on their way. These are your brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, and so we all need to do what we need to do to protect them as well as ourselves.
Wow.
Was it Rumspringa? Is that what's going down?
They were rocking. I don't know what they were doing.
Did they not know about the corones?
I feel like the Amish would hold it together better in times like this. The Amish are losing it? Oh, we're screwed.
They were raging in a barn.
Come on, Amish.
Yeah, you would think if you got the isolation mastered.
You've already got the isolation thing down.
Slowing down life, yes.
Maybe they don't.
They had to party. You know it's getting rough.
Is it possible they don't just know all the details?
No.
Is it possible? I'm asking.
I mean, everybody knows the details, right?
I don't know.
Well, Mayor Bill de Blasio's social distancing tip line. The mayor of New York City was apparently flooded with prank complaints, including penis pics and people flipping the bird.
Aww.
Photos of extended middle fingers, the mayor dropping the Staten Island groundhog, and news coverage of him going to the gym have all been texted to a special tip line that he set up on Saturday.
He really didn't drop it. Did he drop?
What's that?
Did he say he dropped an animal?
No, well, yeah, the Staten Island, I think, is a euphemism.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a penis euphemism.
The Staten Island groundhog, yeah. Apparently, if you're in New York,
yeah.
You live in New York City, that's what they call, I guess, dropping the dong on the Zoom.
That's funny.
The Staten Island groundhog. Yes. So he set up a tip line to out people who were not social distancing, and that's what he gets instead. The hotline received so many prank complaints, the city had to temporarily shut down the service. So there you go. Too many Staten Island groundhogs out there. A jerky landlord in Oregon accessed the IRS Get My Payment site just to find out if a tenant got a stimulus check and then text him about paying rent.
This guy's got some balls and might end up doing jail time for this. The landlord accessed the IRS site using his tenant's social security number and posing as the tenant to find out if the stimulus check had come through, and then had the balls to text the tenant and say, "Hey, I know you got your stimulus check. You paying rent with it?"
That's unreal.
And the tenant was like, "How do you know?" And he actually put it in the text. "I looked on the IRS website.
Jeez.
And I used your social."
Wow. I use your social.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, we just got a text a couple minutes ago. Somebody said, if this were the day to call out, I'd like to call my landlord, who is loaded and has many properties and a business, for threatening legal action for rent, knowing I lost my job. They are greedy slumlords. They never fix anything and have no compassion ever.
I thought there was a little thing for right now where you can get away with not paying your rent.
I don't think they can evict anybody, but I don't know about legal action going forward to try to maybe collect back rent. I know they can't kick you out. You won't be homeless.
Yeah.
But yeah, can they threaten you with legal action and then follow through for back rent?
I know some places, I think states have put a moratorium on some of that, but as that was like pretty much like for a month, they were putting a stay on some things like that. But yeah, when you start getting into 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, what will be the response on that?
Just add that to the list of 8,000 corona questions that we have that we don't know the answer to.
Well, you know, people were saying too, okay, thanks for the $1,200 stimulus check, but I live in New York City. That's not going to take care of my rent.
I have roommates, and it still won't cover my rent.
Yeah, many cities, that will not even put a dent in your rent at some places. And that's not even for a nice place. That's for a junky apartment in some places in some of these cities where you get $1,200 and be like, okay, can we have that stimulus check reflect the cost of living?
It's an interesting thing, yeah.
Yeah. 51-year-old man from Louisiana set his mother's shed on fire for not receiving a federal stimulus check during the coronavirus.
He did it on purpose?
He did it on purpose. Yeah, he got into a dispute with his mom over the federal payout before the fire happened. And now he's going to have to face fines and charges based on arson, which that's not going to be cheap either. So he just caused a much bigger problem, dummy. There's a guy in Largo, Florida that grabbed a woman's butt at Walmart. When the cops showed up, he told me, he said, well, that's just how I talk to women. What a charmer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is he still single?
Yeah, oddly enough, yes. Oddly enough, yeah.
Shocking he went down at Walmart.
Yeah. And according to a new report in a medical journal, a woman in Toronto survived a gunshot wound thanks to her breast implants. The bullet would have hit her heart, but her left implant deflected it into her right implant.
Look at this.
And the bullet lodged into her chest.
Saved her life.
I mean, how amazing is that?
That's amazing.
That is.
I was going to say, that's pretty impressive stuff.
You always see that in movies where someone gets shot and they're like, wait a minute, I had my cigarette case in here. There's something
right,
with
the cell
Yeah.
phone
something
or
blocks the bullet.
I had my fake boob in here.
Yeah.
What luck.
Yeah, she only wound up with one broken rib. So there you go. Fascinating stuff in your whacked out news today.
This is 97.9 WRMF Palm Beach.
We're talking in the whacked out news about the landlord in Oregon that went onto the IRS site, found out one of his tenants had actually received their stimulus check and then hit him up for rent saying, hey, I know you got money.
But they also posted a picture, too, of like when you go to the IRS website to log in, it says, you know, under federal penalty of law, you can't go on here and pretend to be somebody that you're not.
Right.
And that's exactly what the landlord did. And then he confirmed that he did it in writing via text message. Like, oh,
dummy.
Dude.
Yeah, there are some unsavory landlords out there.
People are calling for them to throw that landlord in jail and then give the apartment building to the people that live there. Which I don't think they'll do, but it's like, yeah, that's so cool.
If Kangaroo Court was real.
If Kangaroo Court was real.
Denise sent us an email from Fort Pierce. She is in a rent-restricted complex, and she said that her landlord there has tried to raise the rent during the coronavirus.
Raise the rent?
Raise it?
Raise it.
Now, raise the roof is cool, but raise the rent?
He's chosen this time to make the rent more. And she said, we are in an income-restricted complex to begin with. I know many of us already struggle to pay the rent as is. I'm blessed to still be working despite the pandemic. I work in a doctor's office right now, 2 days from home, 3 days at the office. But I just can't believe that somebody would do this. I'm absolutely outraged, as I'm sure the other tenants are as well.
Is it legal what he's doing?
Don't know anything about it.
Do we got to send JMZ out there?
Maybe it's legal, but it's certainly also douchey.
I don't think some landlords care about being douchey. They really don't.
Yeah.
It's so uncool. We got a global pandemic, people freaking out, and now you're going to raise the rent on them.
There are people who could give a frog's fat ass about being #be cool.
Mm-hmm. Joe in the chat room had said you don't have to pay until July. That's a presidential order when it comes to that. I'm not as well versed on all these.
When you pay in July, do you have to pay for April and May and June? Or do you just pick it up in July and we just say all goods on April, May, and June?
Were those freebies?
That's a big difference. Because people, I mean, I know I couldn't pay back rent or mortgage for 3 months.
If you couldn't pay it when it was going down 3 months ago, how are you going to pay 3 months worth?
Exactly. Everybody would have to get like 3 side jobs.
Denise had asked, she said, please help get the word out there, as there are still slime balls in the world who refuse to change.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What sucks is when the slime ball has the law behind behind them. That's what really stinks. I don't know if that's illegal or not.
Yeah, you're going to have to ask somebody, probably a lawyer, which that's going to cost you money.
If it's illegal, then maybe we can help out. If it's illegal, it just
If
stinks.
he's breaking the law and you have the law on your side, you can always take it to Facebook and shame him.
Okay.
We have to figure out if it's illegal or not, though.
Don't shame him unless you know you have the law on your side.
It's illegal.
Then he might sue you for defamation.
Yeah.
We don't want to go down that road.
Lots of unsavory groups out there. And we got this email from Zach. It said, is there a category of people that you automatically don't trust? Lately, I've realized that I don't trust people who are wearing masks in public that are loosely fit to their face or look sloppy. Clearly, this is a person who has no idea how to actually be safe and clean, and they're trying to pass themselves off as somebody who does. I just don't trust them.
Yeah, when I went grocery shopping the other day, I could not believe how many people had masks around their neck. They didn't even have it on their face.
That's not getting the job done.
What's the point of that?
Unless you have like a trach hole and that's what it's covering.
Then there was a lot of trach holes.
All right, so there you go. Is there a category of people you automatically don't trust? We got...
there's so many.
I know, yeah. We got several texts in here. One just said, 3 folks I don't ever trust. 1 car salesman, 2 mechanic, 3 lawyers. Some doctors will fit in at number 4.
I agree with everything you just said. There's been lies on every one of those professions.
Evelyn said, social influencers.
Agreed.
Okay. Another text says, I think that men who wear bow ties are always up to no good.
Interesting.
You do kind of look at some of the people who have worn bow ties, and you're like,
Sorry, if you have a mustache and you drive a van, you've done something wrong.
You're right. It's hard
You're
to trust them.
not completely on the up and up.
You're not innocent.
Hard to trust them. Somebody else said, I never trust people named Chad. Okay.
I'm sure there's a good Chad out there.
Yes, I don't know.
I don't know, man.
We haven't met him.
I'm
but
trying to think.
Yeah.
if you're a good Chad, call in.
Groups of people that you just don't trust. Michael said, never trust somebody who says bruh. Get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I say it whenever I'm trying to be annoying to Jaybird because it is. Bruh.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
BRUH. Bruh.
Blue 40 in the chat room says, never trust a guy with a beard with no mustache.
Like
you ever seen that look?
Like an Abe Lincoln?
Beard with no mustache.
Yeah, they will have the beard going all the way around, but they shave the mustache part off.
So I trust everybody. I wouldn't trust anybody with that but an Abe Lincoln. Abe Lincoln's the only one that made it work.
Honest Abe. You had to trust that guy.
Ice cream drivers.
Ice cream drivers, huh?
Yeah, driving around the
ice cream truck driver?
The ice cream truck drivers. I don't know, man. I've seen some shady ones.
Okay.
A girl who wears a trendy backpack in a club. I don't trust her. She doesn't take it off.
Well, we had that one girl talked about how she would put her drugs in there.
Yeah, she's selling Molly.
Yeah.
There's something going on with her I don't trust.
Okay. Flat earthers, somebody text in. People who drive lifted trucks, especially if they're men. Cheaters for sure, the text says.
Interesting.
Category of people you automatically don't trust. And somebody said anyone from Boca. Okay.
Somebody that puts up 100 inspirational quotes within, I don't know, a 24-hour period on social media. I don't trust them because they're going through something.
They're making up for something.
They're about to lose it, my man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All people that are a little suspicious. And you notice we didn't get a call from a good Chad.
Oh, not even one?
Nope.
How about
means
this?
they don't exist, Virginia.
How about this one? A girl that says, all of my friends are guys. I have no girlfriends. Just don't get along with them.
That girl's a hooker. And she's slept with half those guys, and the other half, they're on deck.
She's like, all of my friends are guys. I don't have any girlfriends. Just can't trust a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't trust her, Virginia.
I don't trust her either. Don't let her around your man.
No.
Coming up here in a second, there's definitely somebody you should not trust. We got our Who is Legit. One of these people is clearly trying to deceive you. That is their job. We have a legit Disney worker, either current or former, that is going to be on with us. One of them is legit. The other one is not. Can you tell the difference? We'll hear from Daisy and Minnie next.
The KVJ Show mornings and the best variety of the 2000s, 10s, and today. 97.9 WRMF.
Who is legit? One of these people really is a Disney worker or a former Disney worker. One of them is totally trying to throw you off the scent and lie to you. Which one of them is really telling the truth? We've got Daisy and Minnie on here to try to throw us off the scent here today. And who is legit? All right. Hello, Daisy.
Hi.
And hello, Minnie.
Hey.
Okay, here we go. Two enthusiasts. They both have Disney voice.
Yeah, they do.
So this is already going to be tricky here. So let's start throwing some questions at them to see if we can trip them up or figure out who is who. Daisy, can you tell me when you were at Disney and what your specific job was?
Okay, so I worked there from 2011 to 2014, and I was an attractions cast member, so I worked on the rides in Fantasyland.
Oh, big doings.
Okay. And how about you, Minnie?
Hey, I was, what was that? I was there from about 2014 to 2016, and I was a part of the people who gave tours, as well as I watched over some of the, areas. So I had a kind of a double job.
Okay. All right. Virginia, do you have a question here for Daisy or Minnie?
I've talked to somebody who used to be Goofy, and he's told me some pretty fascinating stories about cast members hooking up in the tunnels that run under Disney. Do you know anything about this? Can you guys confirm or deny these crazy hookup stories?
Okay, hooking up in the tunnels under Disney. Minnie, do you have anything to add to that?
Well, I would never do that. I would let the record state I never did that at my job. I would never do that. Never do that. But, however, I have seen that. There was this couple who had just gotten married. And, because, now this is, now keep in mind, everybody knows this is a family park. This is a family theme park. But they had just gotten married, and they came out of the tunnels butt naked.
Oh.
They did.
Scandalous.
They had, and their friends knew about it. They had their friends there.
Oh, they
so
did.
Their friends are taking pictures of it. I guess they wanted a memorable experience for their wedding day.
Scandalous.
Who was that? Was that who just answered? Was that Pinocchio? I mean, who is that?
That was Minnie.
Minnie.
I didn't do that. I would not do that. No, I don't. I might want to go and work at Disney again, so I would not do that. They're very strict on that.
Okay. Daisy, let's hear your answer about tunnels under Disney and people hooking up in them. What do you got for us here, Daisy?
Personally, I've never seen anything. I haven't heard of anything, but I did meet one of my boyfriends at Disney.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. Jaybird, you have a question. You're trying to figure out which one of these is legit and who is totally making up the fact that they were a Disney worker. Daisy and Minnie is who we have on the line. What's your question?
You know me, I'm a role-playing fan.
Yeah.
I want them to sing for their supper here.
Yeah.
Both of you, do me a favor. You guys get mentally where you're at work right now. I want to hear you do your thing. If you were the character, let's hear how you would talk to the people. If you were the tour guide, let's hear how you would do your thing. I want to hear you guys actually do it. A snippet of how you would handle your job.
Okay. Daisy, we'll start with you. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. Everybody move all the way into the end of your row. Take a seat and keep your hands inside the vehicle.
Okay. Powerful. All right. Minnie, give us a little bit of a snippet of what you would sound like working at Disney.
Okay. Welcome to Disney World, everyone, the most magical place on earth. As we head to Tomorrowland, I want you to take notice that everyone here is in character. We are all characters. We are all characters in Disney World.
Gosh,
Please don't tell me you're confused, because there's one that's clearly the winner here.
Yeah, you know what? I guess the only thing is I'm very suspect of Minnie, but I really thought Daisy, I was a little underwhelmed with her Disney-like performance.
I was underwhelmed by it, too.
It didn't feel Disney-esque. And Minnie, I don't think you're even allowed to address characters and all that. I don't believe one word Minnie said since she's been on here.
I didn't believe Minnie at all.
I don't believe a bit of anything that Minnie is saying. I think it's just all lies.
Is it possible they're both lying to us?
No, but I think Daisy's legit. I just don't think she brought it on her character reenactment.
I 110% agree. It's Daisy. I think she was caught off by the role-playing question.
Virginia, what is your thoughts on this?
I agree that I think the real character is Daisy.
Okay, Daisy, are you the one who is legit?
I am.
Okay, I thought so, yes. Okay, very nice. All right, Minnie, thank you for your tip. You did have a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
Yes, we love your spirit, girl.
Performance. Yes, you did.
It was great fun. It was great
you
fun.
weren't a bit believable, but you were very enthusiastic. I do appreciate that. I am always fascinated with the stories that you get. Daisy, do you have one story in particular that kind of stands out? You know, with working at Disney, was there something that really surprised you? Because I'm sure when you go in, you're expecting magic and everything else. And I've heard about nothing but great things about Disney. But was there something that surprised you? And do you have a signature story from your time with Disney that really stands out and was memorable?
I have literally stories for days. But one story that kind of stood out, which is kind of gross, was I was actually a trainer at Small World. And I got told that somebody had thrown ashes into the ride path, which happens pretty often. Mostly at the Haunted Mansion, though, for obvious reasons. But I had to obviously take a look for myself, so I did a little ride through. And towards the end, I was waiting to get off the unload area, and there were some ashes floating in the water.
Wow.
Oh, I had heard that. Yeah, that's one thing where people will do that a lot.
They want their ashes spread at Disney, and so people go and do it.
I get it. I'm kind of cool with that. Are you guys okay with that?
Not if I ride through it and I get it in my mouth.
Right.
Because I'm on the ride behind them.
I get off the ride and I got Uncle Frank up my nose.
Yeah, I'm going to be pissed.
I ain't cool with that.
No.
Yeah, I change on that. There was one story I was reading because I always love checking out some of the Disney stories, and maybe you can add validity to this or not, Daisy. One supposed former Disney employee said that, yeah, we had codes that we'd use on the radio headsets that were coordinated with character names. For instance, code Baloo meant there was blood that needed to be cleaned up immediately. And one day I'm taking a stroll around the club to check on things when I spot a small boy about 2 years old taking a massive dump right in the middle of the play area. He sees me, starts to cry, and runs away with no clothing on the lower half of his body. So I get on the radio and I can't think of what to say, as we didn't really discuss a code for human feces in the play area and a naked kid running around. So I just called, I have a code poo situation in the play area and piglets on the loose. Were there Disney codes that you had for the radio, Daisy?
100%. There were different codes, and every area, every line of business had a different code for something. You had codes for people jumping out of vehicles. You had codes for people throwing up everywhere. Like, yes, we definitely had codes for things.
I have a question for her, if we have time.
Yeah.
We had gotten an email from somebody who supposedly worked at Disney World and said sometimes when people would have beef with one another, the underground tunnel underneath the park would turn into kind of like a mascot fight club. That's a rumor, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I honestly have never seen anything crazy go down in the tunnel. I mean, if you picture it, it's just basically like an underground warehouse with a bunch of doors. Like, I don't know. It's not like this mystical place. It's actually pretty disgusting down there. But yeah, I've never seen any of these crazy things happen that people say do.
Huh. Maybe we've been lied to, Bird.
We've been duped again?
Cesar did want to know, Daisy, do they have a code for drunk people at Disney?
No, I worked at Magic Kingdom, and you weren't allowed to drink there.
Oh.
So when I worked there, now you are. But I don't know the code.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fascinating
It
stuff.
is. It is. I always love talking to Disney people. Daisy, you did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thank you so much. It was really fun.
Okay. Yeah, I love Who is Legit. If you've got something really cool like that, could have been an interesting job, an amazing story, anything like that that would just stand out.
We still haven't got the one I escaped a murderer. That's the one I want to talk to.
Okay. If maybe you were held captive?
I think those stories are fascinating. The ones where you've been kidnapped, the murderer or the potential murderer has interaction, they're saying stuff to you, and you're probably gonna die, and then you escape to tell the story. I like hearing those stories.
Okay.
Does it make me weird? I don't probably.
Well, that's a great example, Chamber. Thank you very much. Did you know that, I guess, is today Earth Day? Is that correct? I know we're right around that ballpark, right?
Yeah, I've gotten a few emails saying there's Earth Day specials here and there. Earth Day.
Oh, nice.
Earth Day. I believe it's 50 years old.
Earth is?
Earth Day.
Oh, okay. Say, wow.
I don't think Earth is 50 years old.
Okay, all right.
Earth Day.
Just to clarify that. Yeah, it feels like it should be older than that. Yeah, they say almost 3/4 of people say social distancing has had a positive impact on the environment, and about 2 in 5 want to continue living a greener life once all this is over. Anybody who doesn't think that the quarantine we've had has had a positive effect on the environment has not seen the photos of global cities and what it has done with their smog. And it's not just in Los Angeles in this country. It's in pretty much every single country in the world. I was looking at a list of about 10 different major cities globally, and the air quality and just how much nicer it looks without us humans out there gunking it up.
But how do you know those photos are real?
I would believe it, right? I mean, I assume somebody would walk outside and say, hey, no, I'm in LA. I still see smog.
The Earth is flat.
Okay.
It is tricky because, yes, you do see the pictures, but then somebody came out and said, dude, that's not Los Angeles right now. It's raining in Los Angeles, you douche.
I'm just
and then
saying.
the whole fight broke out about how that wasn't even a real Los Angeles picture.
I remember when that
Yeah.
story dropped like 3 or 4 weeks ago about the pollution. And I remember even in here like, oh, that's really cool. It's become a thing where
Now it's a fight.
People don't think it's real. Some people think it's real. Some people think the Earth isn't real.
I would think if you lived there.
I'm not celebrating Earth Day because the Earth isn't real.
Earth Day, man. You guys were celebrating Earth.
I think if you lived there, you would know. I know when I lived in Fresno, California, we had terrible smog. They had this massive inversion layer, and there's also too down in a valley. And so just like a lid on a pot, that was what smog was. But every now and then it would rain or something like that would happen. And the air quality was clear. And you'd be like going, oh my gosh, I didn't know we had mountains there. And there were mountains right on the outside of Fresno because you're right on the edge of Yosemite. And the Sierra Nevadas are, I guess the mountains that are right there. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, where did that come from? It was really weird. So you would know in Fresno if you had a clean air day. It was very obvious.
It's still tough to know if we have a smug day or not because as soon as you walk
Every
out.
day's a smug day.
What's thicker, smug or smog?
Oh, smug is way
Smug is
worse.
thicker. Worse for your health, too.
Don't get it in your lungs.
No, you don't. You're never getting rid of it. They say most Americans believe that there is a climate crisis, and 70% believe that they'll have to change the way they live at some point because of climate change. So that's where we're set on that today. But I would think that the quarantine is a victory for Earth Day. And I think that if you believe the photos, and you're right, some people will argue them.
Fake news.
Yeah, it appears at least like that is a victory for an Earth Day.
Panda had to do some work yesterday because he's still working from home, thank goodness. And he was flying his drone. And he just said it's so weird to fly your drone over the beach and there's just nobody there.
I thought we weren't allowed at the beach.
He wasn't at the beach. He was like across the street in his car.
Okay. So you're looking for sunbathers?
Yeah, sounds a little creepy.
Oh, yeah.
There's nobody there.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a soul on the beach or the
Darn
pier.
It's the only time where it doesn't sound creepy. But if you say, I'm going to go by the beach and get my drone out, you're like, all right, creepo.
The bone drone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They've had some very interesting cancellations that have happened. We keep getting that. And I keep looking at the content calendar. I haven't erased it yet because, I always have that calendar that shows what events were going on. And it's kind of it's almost now like a morbid fascination that I guess I have where I look at that and be going, Well, if we didn't have the quarantine, it would have been Tortuga.
Was hoping to catch some tunes at Sunfest.
It's canceled. Yeah, so I kind of keep doing that and looking at all the stuff that is not going to be happening. You're right. Boy, Sunfest. That would have been coming up next weekend.
Yeah, because this weekend would have been Jazz Fest in New Orleans.
Jeez.
Then next week would have been Sunfest. And the weekend after that would have been the Snack Pack Show.
Damn.
Looks like the Snack Pack Show has been canceled.
Along with your birthday that falls on Mother's Day.
Wow.
That day won't be depressing.
Wow.
Somebody do a welfare check on the bird.
Hey, Mom, just celebrating my birthday.
Alone.
Happy Mother's Day. Say hi to Ann.
Tough.
Damn. I can't with this
cold.
sadness.
It's cold.
It's okay, Virginia. I'm used to it. I spent my Easter the same way. I'm just kidding. I'm fine, y'all. I'm fine.
I'm not really fine.
No, I'm fine. I
Trust me,
swear.
I'm doing great.
I'm fine, damn it.
I'm good. A couple other big cancellations. Germany has canceled Oktoberfest for the first time since World War II.
Damn.
Wow.
And that's in October. I mean, you've got a few months. They must really be like, we can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They clearly had their hands full of World War II. So that one I get.
That's when it sounds weird when you start saying things hasn't happened since World War II. You're like, damn.
There's so many hasn't happened since World War II's that are out there. It's crazy. I think it was the White House Easter egg roll that they usually do. The egg, yeah. And so that hadn't happened since World War II. Yeah. I mean, these are disruptions that, typically only happen once every 80 or 100 years.
It'll be in history books, Virginia.
Oh, yeah, it will.
And the Scripps National Spelling Bee has been canceled for the first time since World War II, 1945.
I'm kind of glad because we usually do some kind of spelling bee bit here. I get shocked, I fail it, and then it's just it's terrible.
Terrible, so you're happy that it's canceled.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah. We should do a spell. I mean, there's no reason why we can't do it. We don't have to shock you.
All right, it's back.
It's back.
No, I'm kidding.
But it's really fun when we shock him.
Well, I don't know that we have to shock him for it. I'm just kind of curious. Who do you think is the best and worst speller here on the show?
Depends on what kind of word you're talking about. Are they menu items? I'm going to nail it.
These are words that they're common words, but they might be trickier to spell.
Have you guys mastered quarantine yet?
Quarantine?
Cornteen. Am I close?
You got it right, Virginia. Very
Good
nice.
job. The earth is flat.
Yep, you just won the Hocking County Spelling Bee. Congratulations. Yeah, we could put it to the test. If we had Virginia, Jaybird, and Denny's and a spelling bee, who's first, second, and third place, Virginia?
Well, I mean, it's going to be me or Denny's in first or second. I think you know who third is.
That's fine. I'm used to you being mean. It's a big shield I have now. Your insults bounce off my heart.
Bird, wouldn't you like to shock the witch?
Yeah,
Would you like to win?
I would love it, Kev.
Wouldn't you like to win?
I would love to shock.
And then you know what we could do? We could shock the loser with one good solid bolt. And
I love it. 10
you
level.
would get to control it
At the 10 level. We've never wrote it that high.
We'll flip it around. It's not shock the bird. It's not the shock spelling bee.
Shock the loser. Oh boy, I can't wait for this.
You just gotta win.
Let's go. Win, damn it.
All right, this is the only spelling bee you're gonna get.
How big are these words? Because we might all get them wrong.
This is such a Ralston trap.
Oh.
I think that for the most part, they are, like I said, they're words that you would know. They should be ones that I would think you would spell right.
Okay.
Ingenious. Uh-oh.
That one's kind of big. I'm not going to lie.
Ingenious? Okay. Virginia, Bird, Denny's. Who is the best and worst speller on the KVJ show? We'll find out next.
Want to see what Virginia looks like on camera?
And Kevin and Jason, youtube.com/KVJ Show.
More cancellations because of coronavirus. The Scripps National Spelling Bee has been canceled for the first time since 1945, going back to World War II. Dang. So that means you're not going to be able to see those excited kids on the stage screaming out their final answer or anybody passing out when they would lock their knees too long.
Please use it in a sentence.
Yes.
When they can't think, they want to stall for some time.
I get it, right?
What's the origin of the word so I can think and stall?
Yeah, it's kind of smart, actually.
It's very smart.
We're going to see here, how would you rank it out of KVJ show members when it comes to spelling? We're going to do our own KVJ spelling bee here. And instead of the bird getting shocked for the ones he misses, he gets to, or he will get shocked if he loses. Third place, you get a shock. Okay? We'll make it that way.
Won't be my first, won't be my last. Bring it on.
Okay. Virginia, Denny's, Jaybird, all in on this. I start off with you, Virginia, in round one here of the KVJ spelling bee. Spell for me the word stirrup.
Stirrup.
Stirrup. Yes.
I believe it is STIRRUP, stirrup.
Virginia, that is correct. Very nice. Okay. You move on to the second round.
Sketchy.
I'm not ready for the shocker. I gotta be honest.
It's been a while since I spelled anything, too.
It's been a while since I rode the white lightning.
Denny's, spell the word galoshes.
What is it?
Galoshes.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Galoshes. It was raining outside, so I put on some galoshes to walk through the puddles.
Galoshes.
Galoshes.
Jeez. GOLAUCHES.
Okay, that is a great guess, but it is incorrect.
Oh, kitty.
How do you spell it?
I've never heard that word.
Galoshes. 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 Jaybird, can you spell for me the word unconscious?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's such a hard.
That's a hard one. Gosh, unconscious. Oh, man.
Unconscious.
What happened to the other one you were asking about? Didn't you have one earlier?
Ingenious.
Ingenious.
We didn't know that one either.
Can I have that one instead? No, I'm just kidding. All right,
unconscious.
UNCONCIOUS. Unconscious.
That is right on the money, except for the one S.
Oh, that S! Damn you, S! Gosh!
UNCONSCIOUS.
S's.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right. Virginia, congratulations. You're the winner. All right.
It's between Miho and Miho.
Miho,
Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks. Let's see if I get goulash or whatever.
Goulash. Yes, that's your
A
word.
word I've never heard.
Galoshes followed by goulash.
An S saved you. An S saved you. Yeah. What S?
Okay. Next up. Let's see here in the KVJ spelling bee. Denny's, if you would, spell the word minuscule. Minuscule. How do you spell the word minuscule?
I'm going MINISCULE.
Okay, MINI.
Feels right.
It does feel right, doesn't it?
You can tell when Kevin's excited.
You could tell the smug in his voice. He could not get to that buzzer quick enough.
The smog's in L.A., but the smog's in West Palm.
That's right.
And you can always tell because he's always so fake positive. Oh, it's great,
Oh, good
Denny.
guess.
Oh, good effort.
job.
So smug.
So much smug.
Minuscule. MINUSCULE.
Oh, M-I-N-U.
I did it phonetically.
I thought so too.
Look.
Minuscule.
Kitty, you did good. You did good, Kitty.
Okay. Jaybird, you win, or at least finish second. That's a win here. If you can spell correctly questionnaire.
Oh, God.
Questionnaire.
Question. Is it A-R-E or is it A-I-R-E? Questionnaire.
Never see that at the spelling bee.
Start over and breathe.
My goodness, can you imagine if a child was doing that up on stage? You'd be like, is this kid all right?
Namaste, Bird. Namaste.
N-A-M-A-S-T-E.
He's got that one.
You got this.
Questionnaire.
Questionnaire.
Questionnaire. Questionnaire. Final answer. God.
Yeah.
No!
The excitement from Kevin.
Yeah.
Was there an I in there?
There is.
There's an I!
Questionn.
Oh,
two
N's.
A-I-R-E.
Two N's.
Double N's.
Double N's. Double N's?
Kevin got you with the double N.
We like double rainbows, not double N's.
Okay. All right, we're going to back it down here just a little bit.
Cat.
Good.
Yeah, give somebody dog and cat.
Yes.
I mean, this is getting painful.
Okay, Denny's, your word here in the KVJ spelling bee is indict.
Oh.
Indict. Damn it. How do you spell the word indict?
Is it I-N-D-I-C-T?
Denny's, that is correct.
Oh. Wow. All right.
Okay.
Just put the shocker on.
No.
I just put the
Just
shocker
put it on.
it.
And the next one's going to be fallopian tubes.
You don't know.
Give him fallopian tubes.
Yeah, why not just give me fallopian tubes?
Jaber, to stay alive here, your word to spell, ironically, is misspell.
Oh.
Misspell.
M-I-S-S-P-E-L-L.
That is correct.
Ooh, double S.
Wow.
Virginia, can you feel the stress and the strain and the pressure of this? Do we have a battle or what?
You can't think about it. He's got a
I can feel it in my fallopian tubes. It's heavy in here.
fallopian tube. That's not easy to spell. By the way.
I don't know if I can.
You guys,
And I've got them.
you guys are matching each other round by round. You missed your first two and got your third one correct. Okay, quick round 4 here.
Oh,
KVJ sudden death spelling bee. Denny's, your word is handkerchief.
Is it Hankerchief?
Handkerchief. That is incorrect.
I before E.
Oh, okay, hey. Sassy Pants, why don't you go
I was
ahead?
writing it out.
I should write it.
She gets one word right.
No. I felt like you could get that, Denny.
And it's tricky because it's like hand kerchief. Handkerchief. Jaybird, you get the win, or at least finish second, if you spell Pharaoh correctly.
Pharaoh. Ooh, don't think about it. Don't think about it. Just go. F-A-R-R-E-O.
That is not even close.
It's an Egyptian word.
P-H-A-R-A.
Get out of here with this crap.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Okay.
5 more rounds. We got this.
I mean, haven't we
We
had
just need an end.
Call it, Pansy. We get it. We're dumb.
You got one right. You got one right. This will be the absolute final round, final word that you will spell. Okay, here we go. Denny's, your word, dilate.
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 D-I-A-L-A-T-E.
How do you spell it?
D-I-L-A-T-E. Dilate.
Oh,
That's my theme music.
That's a trick.
And
tricky.
Jaybird,
Dilate is
it
a trick.
These are some
All
tricky
of these
words.
are terrible.
So it's dilate.
Dilate.
All right. I thought it was dilate.
Jaybird, all right, the final word we'll use here in the KVJ spelling bee, I will give you ingenious.
You can't give that one because isn't that too easy?
Okay.
Is that too easy?
All right.
It's a little, yeah. They'll call us on that.
Okay. Then your word will be
fallopian tubes.
Gosh,
That'd be a tough one.
This might be the closest you get to one in a while. So,
Your word is accommodate.
oh boy,
gosh.
she's a big girl.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a Scrabble.
Accommodate for the win, Bird. Accommodate for the win.
Accommodate. A-C-C-O. A-C-C-O-M. No, I'll just get
Accommodate.
That's a long one.
accommodate. A date. A-C... O-M-M-A-D-A-T-E.
So do we get both get shocked now?
It was
A-C-O. A-C-O-M-A-D-D.
Okay. Oh, man, yes. It was ACCO. MMODATE. Virginia's the winner, and we got 2 losers.
Look at that.
And we couldn't even shake them apart.
I would not want to.
You tried.
Yeah.
Try as you might.
It really was amazing that you both missed your first 2, got your third, and then missed your last 2.
I could not pick a better guy to lose with.
They will only go down together.
You guys are losers in step.
I love it.
It really is amazing. Somebody texted and said, man, I miss sports so badly, I was actually entertained by that spelling bee.
That was intense.
It's true. We've all lowered the bar.
Oh, we have. Yes. What really entertains? Honestly, I'm watching the most random things and being highly entertained with them. My level of what I require to be good entertainment now, the bar is set so low.
Yeah, Too Hot to Handle last night. I was way into it.
I was way too. We were watching it last night. Me, Denny's, and his wife, and it got us. We couldn't believe how terrible these people were.
I couldn't believe how horny they were.
I can.
Yeah.
I absolutely can. You know they ginned them all up going in there. That's what they did. They got them all hot and bothered. They threw some alcohol down their throats, got them basically wanting to, do the deed, and then they took it all away from them.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to get. So, got this email that probably would make everybody think. And it's a good question, I guess, that we should probably ask. The email said I was doing an online order for delivery, and it went through at 6:40 for a place that closes at 7. And I got a call about 5 minutes later, and it's, I guess, the manager or something like that. And he's saying, hey, we're going to, make and deliver your order, but even during normal times, we lock the door before closing time, and we don't allow any new orders while we finish up the last ones of the night. So in the future, it'd be great if you could order earlier. And I apologized, said, I didn't see that on the app and all that, but, I'm cool with doing that. So, I'm just trying to wonder, what could I do to make life easier for essential workers? People are out there already that have to do their job. Then I'm not thinking, okay, you know what? That would make it a little less stressful.
Well, so on the food apps that I use, they're usually, if you're doing it through the app, it'll say accepting orders until X amount of time. So they kind of make it easier. If it doesn't have that, I believe it's the restaurant's job to do the best they can to let the customer know that they're not accepting orders at a certain time. It becomes tricky when you close a place at 7 p.m. and someone's still, calling at 6:55. As the consumer, they're thinking they still have 5 minutes to get that order in. So it gets a little messy, and at the end of the day, you are a business. Don't you want to make the customers...
Yeah, and people don't know.
They don't know that.
They're looking, if it says closes at 8, they think they can order at 7:59.
It's just, in my opinion, it's bad business to...
Yeah.
If you say it closes at 7 p.m. and someone orders at 6:57, them's the breaks. That's you're in that kind of business.
They think they're in the window,
Totally.
and they totally don't realize that they're throwing you out of whack. Maybe you should change your time to 6:30.
It's annoying. I get it. It's awful, but that's just part of the game.
It seems like that's the way it should be. If you truly want to not be taking orders, then you should move it back 30
Cut it
minutes.
off, right.
Yeah.
Well, there's a place they had some people working there, and it would close at 9 p.m. You would go in there at 8:40, 8:35, and they'd start shutting you down. Sorry, we have to clean up. But the business, it closed at 9.
That's not thinking about it from the consumer's perspective.
The dining room is open. I mean,
Right.
those are the rules. I get it. It's annoying. It's the end of the day. You want to go home, but it's terrible business.
Yeah, it's going to make your customers feel like you don't want them. And if they feel like you don't want them, they're going to go someplace that does.
I mean, if you're doing it right, you make a sandwich up until if someone comes at 8:58, you make that sandwich and then it's over. As annoying as it is.
Mm-hmm. Some of the comments we have here, if you're an essential worker, what can we start or stop doing that would make your job a little bit easier? And somebody texts in saying, coming from an essential worker, there is something people can do, and that's stop being so needy over things that are not either emergency nor necessity. That's not saying to be mean, but we are trying to prevent interaction as much as possible, and they take away from the people who do actually have an emergency or a necessity.
I did see this lady, and she was being super annoying in the grocery. We were on the same track. So you know how you can kind of be with the same people in the store because you're both hitting the aisle at the same time? Every aisle she went on, she would ask a question to the worker that was just there trying to stock the shelves. I'm like, lady, I've heard you ask 5 questions of 5 different people already. Cut it out.
Don't you wish sometimes there just weren't any rules where you could really tell somebody how you feel?
Stop being so needy. Okay, yeah, I realize you're lonely and you want to talk to people, but these poor grocery store people, they just want to stock the shelves.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want to talk to you. They want to stay healthy, too. Just go about your biz.
That's when
it was really annoying. By the 6th person that she was asking questions, I was like, I got to get away from this lady before I snap. I don't even work here, and I'm going to snap on her.
I have noticed a lot of weird conversations going on in the grocery store.
Stop talking to people mindlessly for no reason, because if they're in the store stocking shelves, they don't want to talk to you if they don't have to.
I've had a couple uncomfortable moments due to the arrows in the grocery store. Some people, I've never been a good merger on the road. I'm not so great at the grocery store either. It's
a new world.
It's a new world, and you can go down the wrong aisle. If you go down the wrong aisle,
I went down one that had an X, and I felt so bad. I had a panic attack in the middle of the aisle and turned around.
You'll get daggers from some people going, "You SOB, read the arrow, moron."
I can't remember on each aisle. I get sidetracked.
I bet bankers would say, if you can do online banking, do that. Only come on to us if it's an actual emergency and necessity.
Yes, that's a good one.
And I wondered this with my wife, with some of the package delivery people, whether it be Amazon or whatever. They come up and, she wants to offer them a water because it's getting warm out there. And I was like, is that the right play or not? Does a delivery driver appreciate somebody offering them a water when they come up, or are they going, I don't want to take anything that could have funk on it?
That's a great question. I would say at least 80% of the delivery people that come to my house now, they knock on the door and they walk away. But I would say 1 out of 5, they want to knock on the door. Hey, what's going on?
Okay. Yeah.
Especially that one guy.
There's one guy.
There's one guy who loves Jaybird.
He's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Such an awesome dude.
Before the Corones, yeah, we'd entertain it.
Yeah, I felt like that was another awkward moment where I kind of did a weird thing where I opened up the door and kind of grabbed the food, and he wanted to talk. I'm like, all right, dude, talk to you later. And I kind of closed the door. It was awkward.
He wants to chat it up.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to, hey, our man, through the window, but he can't hear me, I don't think.
Please leave.
So maybe he just thinks you're just yelling at him.
Yeah, it was so awkward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's it. A couple things to think of. Anything else to add to it? 877-979-WRMF. Coming up here in just a couple minutes, I want to salute our KVJ Heroes of the Day. If you know somebody that is really going above and beyond, it could be one of those essential workers that are just saying, you know what, I'm here for the people. Let us know so we can shout them out. Send it to mail@kvjshow.com. And I do want to acknowledge somebody that we'd had as one of our KVJ Heroes of the Day. Unfortunately, a sad end to their story. I'll tell you about next.
Listen to the KVJ Show live each weekday morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on your home speaker. Just use the voice command, play the KVJ Show. 97.9 WRMF.
Love hearing about our KVJ Heroes of the Day. There's just so many people that are out there doing amazing things. And anytime there's a little bit of positivity, we want to let everybody out there know about it. People are doing some really good stuff. There was a college student from Italy that got stuck in Spain all alone but didn't have the money to get home. And so a cab driver drove her 1,000 miles for free.
Oh, that's awesome.
How amazing is that? There was a story of a 31-year-old guy in Virginia that had enough money to get by, so he held an online drawing for people who lost their jobs and gave out his entire $1,200 stimulus check to a guy that he never even met.
That's beautiful.
I'm hearing about people doing great things with the stimulus check. They said, I'm okay right now. I think somebody could use this more than me, and they're finding a very worthy person to give it to. The 99-year-old guy who raised over $30 million by walking across his back patio is turning 100 next week. And he's already received over 25,000 birthday cards in the mail.
Wow.
Yeah, that's been one of the really great stories that has come out of this. Another story about a woman in Iowa has been sewing together hundreds of reusable masks and then hanging them on a tree in her town for anybody to take. Which is a nice little gesture out there. That PPE, the personal protective equipment, people doing something like that. And there was one twist to his story. Remember I told you about the 10-year-old girl? She's a nurse's daughter that she had hand-sewn 100 coronavirus masks for healthcare workers in Texas.
Yes.
She died in a tragic ATV accident.
What?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. It was just terrible, that story. But I know we talked about her, and somebody had sent me that and said, did you see that? So I wanted to.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a tough story, but I wanted to acknowledge it because, But, I mean, her last act was one that was pretty amazing. And a little positive for everybody here with McDonald's. Through May 5th, they're going to be giving out free thank you meals to first responders and healthcare workers across the country. That's the kind of stuff we love to hear, right?
And I think they're going to do regular food, grown-up size food, but put it in a Happy Meal box for them. So the healthcare workers get a free meal and they get the smile of a Happy Meal box.
I love it.
It's beautiful. I love that.
I got this email from a Jason who sent it to us, and it was a lot of first responder discounts that are out there. And there are a lot of good places that are offering stuff here in South Florida that you can do. Many of the hotels are offering frontline and first responder special rates and amenities. So if you have a situation, I know sometimes those first responders don't want to go home. Like there's one healthcare worker staying in his kid's treehouse.
I saw that.
Because he doesn't want to infect or risk infecting his family.
It was a pretty sweet treehouse, too, that he had built for his kids.
I looked at it, I'm thinking, that looks a lot different than my treehouse when I was a kid.
Yeah. But you can find a lot of stuff. Like he had listed Bolay, 25% off on the menu. You show valid ID. This is for your first responders that are out there, at least the one in Miami Lakes, but I bet a lot of the Bolays are doing that. Blaze Pizza is a pizza for $3.14 using the app.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
first
deal.
responders. He listed the place in Kendall, but again, I bet it's probably a lot of the other ones that they have throughout South Florida. So, some really good deals on places that you love to go check out. Krispy Kreme is doing free glazed donuts when you show a valid ID. Yeah,
I haven't had a Krispy Kreme donut in a long time.
You haven't had a valid ID in a long time.
That is a dangerous game.
When they're hot and they're just out of the fryer, there is nothing better. They seem to just melt.
They do.
On your mouth. It's amazing.
Pollo Tropical at 47 local locations, 50% off on all drive-thru or takeout orders when you show a valid ID for first responders. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
We mentioned Starbucks, the free tall brewed coffee, hot or cold. Steak and Shake, 20% off on any steak burger or fries with the valid ID. The Tap 42 is doing 50% off takeout and pickup orders.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, period, in South Florida.
I mean, half off. That's awesome.
Yeah. Nice little note, too. Lindberger's Lantana is offering 40% off for first responders. So thank you for the notes on that. A lot of positivity that is going on. So we appreciate all of it. You can send us emails anytime when the show's not on. If something pops up, being a big part of the show. Appreciate all the emails and calls that we got today. So you guys are definitely a part of us doing this. People like, yeah, you guys on until 11 now? Yeah, we just started this week. So while everybody's schedule is a little bit crazy and people are sleeping in, we're going to be doing the show from 6 a.m. until 11 a.m. So you get a bonus of KVJ. We're starting at the same time, and then we're still doing the After the Show podcast. It's now on Facebook, too. So you can watch it live on Facebook and YouTube.
Weird and Whatever will be tonight, too. We're going to be doing the Zoom with the Facebook Live. I know YouTube's annoyed by that, but I just can't argue the numbers that Facebook gives us versus YouTube. I apologize.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bigger platform.
It really is. It's not even close.
Yeah. But it will still be there, and then you upload it later onto YouTube.
It'll all be up there,
Yeah.
so you're not really missing. You're just missing the live element
live.
on YouTube, but it'll be on Facebook.
All right, see, that's positivity. That's what you do, man. Jaybird, if you'd wrap us up for a thought for the day before we get to the After the Show podcast on social media.
If you think adventure is dangerous, try routine. It's lethal.
Oh, okay.